let it go like that. But what happened is these guys will just leave them and go for because of a new chick. Or he doesn't want her to trying to break it down to her. Like, okay, let's do polygamy. What he does is what some of these guys do is he really doesn't want to leave her sometime, but because he doesn't understand the concept of polygamy, that a man can have two women. He think a man only supposed, the white people standard, like, oh, you're supposed to have one woman. So now what he does is he stop playing games. He be lying to her, hiding the other lady, jumping around like a goddamn, I don't know what to call it, trying to hide the whole thing, and then they find out she's hurt that you cheating behind my back and things, but just make it all front. Whereas in Africa, ain't no man hiding shit. I want a second wife. Sit down with your first wife and discuss it. Like, hey, this is it. This is what I want. I want to marry a second woman. I want to stay married with you. Let's do polygamy. How do you want it? Do you want to live together with her? Or you want to live as separate? You just discuss it and keep it going.
Mike, I feel like you're 75. But here's the problem: what you're saying in Africa now. If I say I want a second wife, nothing. That's okay. People will support me. People will back me up. Other men will back me up. Other older women will tell her, "Look, you need to just accept it. It's the best option." But in America, if you say that to a woman now, she can get vengeful. Take you to court. Divorce your ass. Take
No. Okay, Caesar, listen to me. A woman, I'm talking about in the cases where that woman really doesn't want you to leave her. She doesn't want to be single. She has kids with you. She knows she's no longer in her prime. She doesn't want you to move on. That's in many cases, right? If that's the case, then you strike a deal. I don't want to move on with you. I'll be with you forever with my kids. We'll remain family. However, I gotta have this second wife. Trust me. Most cases, all you have to work out is how can we live together with how can we have it going on, keep our relationship same way, happy and everything, while I still have this other woman. Most women will understand that, oh wow, the fact that you still want to be with her, she will accept it. They
Yeah, and
will
that way
accept it.
broken. You know, you will not have the my kid is in this place, the other one is there. No, everything will be family. You know, it will not be like you
Exactly.
have. Okay. You know, some men are even married here. One wife, okay, they need another wife. They would not tell their wife, but now they still sleeping with those girlfriends outside, having kids outside of marriage.
Having
At the
kids outside
same
of
time,
marriage, exactly. Now you create a
they
bunch
will
of
have
disaster everywhere. And then the,
and
the one on the side, that one too, she wants to be married.
you
Now
want to be married.
she's
Now
not a
it's
baby
a
mom. She got to go find her husband. And so the whole thing is just a mess. It's just a mess. And the reason is because we want to leave this European standard because Europeans say this is the way it should be. And we blacks need to just get it together, figure who we are, and just live by our natural way. Because we want to live to the European standard. Like, no, one man, one woman. That's it. Polygamy is evil. It's this. Even the goddamn animal kingdom, the lion got a bunch of wives, and the lionesses are all happy, and fucking they're happy to have a freaking man. So if that's your name, if that's your nature, just live by your nature. God damn it, man. We don't have to be, fake and be trying to live up to someone else's standard. That's the problem with the black society.
Look, I support it. You have to normalize it. Another thing that has to happen is like these ladies, they look on social media, they ask their friends if what's going on is normal. If more people start doing it, it'll become more normalized. But they don't want to be look what Brian said. Oh, the lady will be outcast or whatever. Ladies don't want to tell their friends, oh, I'm a second wife. It's embarrassing. They're the only ones doing it. So I think it has to be normalized a bit. But I support it.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, that's the thing. People want to live. Of course, the ideal thing, the ideal dream vision for everyone is me and my husband, me and my. I mean, no man really have natural desire. If every man have to have his way, you just want to have one woman. You don't want to be dealing with two women. It's more headache to have more than one woman. To be honest, any man will agree. But
Right.
in some time, the desire to just have that second woman is so strong that you just have to do it. I mean, literally, you have to do it. Sometimes, I mean, some men is just in their nature, they just can't have one woman. They have to have more than one. That not
Exactly.
all men, but there's some men by their nature they can't stick with one woman. You just be sticking with one woman every day. Like they want to have more than one. It's just their own natural energy. So
Exactly.
Those kind of men, you can't deny them. When you start saying, "Oh, having more than one wife is evil," now he's got to be sneaking, like Christians. When everything you have to be a perfect human being. So when Christians want to commit sin, they start hiding, doing it behind everybody's back. Whereas it's human nature to commit sin. So someone that's not a Christian, what they call it sin, where it's not a crime, you do it to your face because there's no religion telling him you have to hide it. And that's the same thing I see in society. When you demonize something that's supposed to be normal, you say, "Oh, it's evil. It makes you're pathetic if you have more than one wife, or more than one woman." And then you begin to hide it, doing behind the back, and it's even more evil when you're hiding shit. It's more pathetic. So
Oh man, Mike, I've seen some guys like they have two families and keep it a secret 20 years, 15 years. How the hell do you have two families in the same area code and they don't know? Jesus. Guys are
imagine the
stressful.
kids, the kids growing up, having siblings, and not knowing each other, not close to each other. Like you
That's
as a man,
stressful.
you have children. They don't have bond with each other. That's evil. That's even more very pathetic. But I
And
mean,
you're gonna
we, we,
working
we
hard, providing for two families. Eventually, they always what's under darkness always comes to light. Eventually, it always comes out. Come on, but I think it's just stressful. I can't put myself under such stress. I'm okay.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I see some people that always make this argument that polygamy is destructive family structure. Dude, monogamy is also destructive. It's destructive marriage is a destructive marriage. It has nothing to do with whether it's polygamy. That argument that I've come from polygamous home and it was freaking hell. There's
Oh,
a home that's a monogamy where it's one man, one woman. It's freaking hell, dude.
exactly.
The kid is hell.
Exactly.
The husband and wife fight every freaking time. They, come on, man. It's no different. It's
No,
just the arrangement.
in America, I think one thing, if I could change Black America, I would add they have there's too many women. I mean, I love it, but there are more women than men, and in any time that's a problem in society. They usually adopt polygamy. There's more women than men, especially that age range you mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of single women, and not everyone. It's not going to be one man, one wife. It's not enough men. Sorry, it's not
I mean,
enough.
look, that's why if you look at, I mean, let's just say African people, right? In other cultures, like in China, I think there's actually more men than women, right? Because of some specific things that they did. But if you're looking at Black/African people, yes, generally there's more women, right? That's why so much cultures in Africa is on polygamy. Why? And also polygamy actually drives men to be more like productive, right? Because
Yeah,
look,
exactly. You actually get your ass busy, and you have responsibility, and you want to have more. You want more respect, so you behave more responsible because you don't want this bunch of women to be disrespecting you. So your kids. So you act more responsible. And if you smart, I mean, the perfect polygamy will probably be the one where you all work together, right? If the women definitely wish to live together, because some polygamy, the women don't want to live together, so you put them apart. But the one where they get along, if you smart, you put your resources together, you build businesses together, you
Uh-oh.
build
yep.
freaking, you know what I'm saying? It's more money, three people working or whatever, how many you are. You put your money together, you plan things together, you
Yeah, 1 second,
freaking,
guys. 1 second. Shout out. Yeah, let me shout out to the sponsor of this stream. Shout out to Mal Cater over there with the $4. Shout out to you, Mal. I do appreciate it. You're playing Black Tax. Oh, no, I'm joking. This is obviously for Multimedia Network, but I do appreciate it, man. You out there scrubbing white man's ass. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, Mal. Right. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
yeah. So you come together. In the olden days, the women, the men, they all come to the farm together. They grow the crops, work together, produce more because there's more hands working, right?
Yep.
In modern day, three of you or whatever, how many of you are, you plan together, you raise the kids together. When one woman is nursing, the other one help us to goddamn babysit. It's even easier because children are fucking hell to raise. If you have more women, one woman freaking wash the kids, the other one go take a goddamn break, go out, do whatever, do something else. You make schedule. You help each other raise the kids together. You work as a team. I don't know what's so difficult about that, And you make rules like, hey, okay, this is what is gonna make me jealous. You address it, you put it on the table. The other one say, hey, this was gonna make me jealous, and the man, we all agree, you make the rules, and then you avoid doing those things, it's gonna cause each other to be jealous or be fighting, whatever. You just work together as freaking intelligent. In fact, it will even work, it will be much easier for educated people because you goddamn have brain, you can solve problem, you can articulate your grievances, and you work it, you just work it and just live together, happy freaking home. It's simple, you know. You
Yeah,
get
man.
freaking. I mean, is this? You're not going to be each other's way of sex. I mean, if it's sex, I mean, the man.
Yeah,
God
but
damn it,
Mike,
man.
Mike, don't you think this is where like Christianity and these sort of religions change African culture? Like, how do you go from thinking, doing what we do, then Christianity start telling you, oh, it's one woman, then you cheat on her, you give her diseases because you're not regulating the kinds of people that you're doing monkey double backflips with, creating baby mama culture, and no man is being responsible. Because what polygamy at the very least does is this: it forces a man to take care of two families or three, right, depending on whatever lifestyle he can afford. But this baby mama culture, I don't want that stuff in Africa because it ruins everything.
You
Because
just
it
stress
it
everything.
just breeds useless men who get women pregnant and then the women are unprotected. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, you just pay child support and you go party and live his life and hide money and just I mean, guys do it here, man. I mean, what some guys do here. I just have, and they still have access to this baby mama when they want to sleep with a baby mama and she go sleep with
Exactly.
it.
That's the crazy. They're actually doing it, just not formally. That's the craziest part. They're still sleeping with each other. They're still, I don't get it.
Yeah, they think the only difference is they're not together. You just, go live your single life, go chill with the other baby mama, and then go just have his freedom, party, and be useless. And then it will make money on his side, hide the money, and be giving a little child support. And then you have women like it's like you're living alone, paying big bill. The other women are living alone, paying big bills. So what kind of economy is that? When all that money could have been in one place, right? And all the kids could have their pops in the same place in the house, and
Yep.
then the women can help each other out, right? Help each other, share. You see the parental value. You see, three, two. Okay, what does the who? What? How do you think a child can get more quality upbringing? Having two moms or one mom? Two moms, you get two different,
More
more
attention.
adults in your life. That means more wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Being poured into you, more advices, more mentoring, more guidance. More is better, you know.
The funny thing about
Yeah.
ladies, a lot of ladies will complain like, "Oh, I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely." Okay, go be friends with instead of being friends with some crazy woman from the outside that will be giving you some crazy advice. Go be friends with someone else that's in the family that
In
can.
the family, it's more like sisters, You
Exactly.
know, that's it. Get rid of the jealousy part. Just get along. That's all. All the men have to do is just make both of them know. Listen, I love both of you equally. I'm not you. We're home together. That's it. Enjoy the man. Polygamy is not bad, man. I'm
What's
not
up?
saying I'm not advocating that it's for everybody.
Yeah. What's
Some
up? One
men,
second, Mike.
some men is
We
just they can't. They one woman is good for them. They're happy.
Yeah.
They're okay.
One second,
If
Mike.
that's
Before
you,
I
then
leave
that's fine.
kindly, let's let him hit it up. What's good? What's good, Doctor R? Long time.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. What's up?
Yeah, we're just talking about polygamy, baby mama culture, and single mothers. Like,
Yes, about baby mother and single mothers. Too many fucking single mothers in Europe and the UK. Too many. I want to know what's your thoughts on single mothers and that and divorcees. Should they be banned from dating apps because there's too many of them, my brother?
yeah, go ahead, Mike and Caesar.
Caesar, what do you think?
I don't think. Okay, look. Here's the thing. We can't ban them. All that stuff about banning them. That's just you just want to laugh. We can't ban
No,
them.
but no, but to be honest, Caesar, to be honest, yeah, if you go on any dating app, even the Muslim ones, you're gonna find a lot of single mothers and divorcees. I don't
Oh
know.
yes, even in the DMV. That's what I'm saying. Is a problem. There's
Where you
all
from again, Caesar?
uh,
What's
uh,
what?
uh,
What state?
DMV, DC. I'm around
Oh,
the
DC
DC
or
area.
around there.
There's a
I don't
lot
know.
of
I
single
don't know
women.
about. Yeah, carry on, carry on.
No, yeah, there's a lot of single women around that age, and I'm so confused. It's a serious issue. Look, maybe I do think we need to shame it a little bit. it's better to be a second wife than to be a single mom. We need to put some shame back into being a single mom. Single moms are not, oh, I don't want, this is hate speech. We need to stop saying that single moms are what do you call it? Strong. I mean, they are strong, but I'd rather you be a second wife. That's stronger. That's what I'll say about that.
But Caesar, do you think, yeah, since you're from America, I've never been to America, do you think there's no point in dating or even marrying because a lot of people are dropping out of the dating game?
No, you just have to be more selective. And it's you, a wife nowadays, if you're someone who wants to marry like me, I know who I'm screening. You have to be much more selective nowadays. I even advise marry from your culture. Whoever you marry, it has to be someone that you're close to, tight with, because what's going on nowadays with the leave, I'm gonna leave him.
Caesar, my brother, I don't know how old are you, yeah, but Kay and Mike, it doesn't matter. Even women from your culture have been contaminated by feminism, all that stuff.
Okay, but let's say
I
you
was,
get
I was
20
talking
years
to a
out.
Ugandan. I was
Look,
talking to a Ugandan cab driver one time, and we were talking, and this Ugandan cab driver was, what's funny? This Ugandan cab driver lived in UK for 15 or 20 years. This guy was a teacher by profession. Then I was talking to the brother, and he said to me, "Why aren't you doing a cab driver? Because kids in UK, they're bastards and they lack no discipline, and I'd rather be a cab driver." Then we go on to the subject of marriage. Then I was giving my thoughts on marriage. I will not marry an African woman or a Caribbean woman in the UK, because especially an African woman, because they are lost. They've been destroyed by feminism, and you can't distinguish them from a white woman.
I tend to disagree with people blaming feminism for all these so-called problems. I don't think women being feminist is the reason why single women. I think it's largely more of, I would say, irresponsible men, or I would say culture that
Whoa,
doesn't
whoa, whoa, whoa,
that.
irresponsible men. So which
Hold
men
on, hold
do?
on.
So what
I,
type? What women do? Okay, then should women blame? What responsible men are you referring to? Are you referring to the bad boys, the worst of the worst, the women that get with? Then they blame your ordinary, what's it called, Tom, Dick, and Harry for their mistakes they made. You have to be
well,
specific, Mike.
making mistake. Feminism is no reason why anyone make mistake in the first place, right? So to me, feminism is just women standing up for themselves. They feel neglected. So in you have a modern society where it's all individualism. Men, which another example I gave is you being told that, oh, polygamy is wrong, and you have to be one man, one woman, those kind of things. And these guys that know that, oh, wow, deep inside me, I can't just be one woman. So you go around cheating and all that, and women, you know, being left out broken and things like that. So I don't think feminism is necessarily what the issue is. I would say the problem gave birth to feminism. What happened is you have a society culture where you tell men you no longer um have to be responsible for women. You just do your thing, kind of like that. So he ended up having a society of men just being irresponsible. Don't feel the sense that, hey, it's my duty to build a legacy, build a family. You know, um,
Like Mike, I don't know where you're from, yeah, where if you live in the West or not, but in the UK or in America, there's literally no incentives for a man to get married at all. Literally
but
no
the problem is
incentive.
not feminism.
But the problem does come down to feminism. Like, for example, it's similar problem is happening in countries like South Africa, which even though it's a third world country, but if you look at South Africa, the government in South Africa give women welfare. Like in the UK,
But that's
why
not
do
feminism.
no, but if you look at Kzoria or Caesar, you could interject on this subject. In the UK, the government, if you're a woman irresponsible, you have sex outside of marriage, you'll be awarded a a property from the government. You're gonna get free money, free everything. So why do you need a man if you can get welfare, a free house?
so wait, Dr. R, here's the thing. I agree with you
But
generally.
that's not feminism. That's the thing.
Yeah,
But it's tied to feminism. But listen to this, yeah. If a woman were to, let's say, this happened in Black America, we could learn from, like, let's say in the UK, you want a government house or council house or Section 8 house. Council houses are Section 8 in the UK. And basically you want a house, you'll get more money from the government if there's no man in the house. Did you know that?
Right.
If there is a
Well,
man in the house, no, but if there's
that's
a man in that, if there's a man in the house, you're gonna pay more on the rent. You're gonna get less welfare. Ask anybody.
yeah, but you're talking the case of people that are on the lower echelon of society, poor. I don't know any woman, a
I'm not.
progressive-minded woman that wants to live in there on that level, like level of government assistance.
No,
I
but
mean,
there are in America. There is in UK. There's plenty of those women. It doesn't matter about their race or whatever. It's become
yeah, those kind
normalized.
of women. Are you going for those kind of women? Are you going for a woman that's not ambitious, that's low class? I mean, a guy
I
that will go
brother,
get a woman like that pregnant, he himself is not.
I've seen attractive women. I've seen attractive women in their early 20s that are on welfare and have multiple
Well,
possible
it's not
kids.
about
You
attractive.
okay? Look, that's the deal. That's the deal. You as the responsible guy, right? You live in a advanced society with opportunity to become, progressive person. You shouldn't be looking to marry a woman that's useless. That's not progressive minded, right? You should be looking for a woman that's progressive minded, a girl that wants going to school, trying to become something in life, trying to make it, trying to grow, trying to advance. Those kind of women does not think about welfare. You understand? She's
Exactly.
not thinking about, oh, I want to go on welfare, government assistance, and take advantage of men. It's just poor-minded, poverty-minded people that think like that. So any man that's foolish enough to go and be getting that kind of woman pregnant, then it's your fault.
I wanna talk about the title of the room. In Nigeria, I think that a lot of the youth have to be careful about what they imbibe, especially the music from abroad. Nigeria has a set culture, set customs. Even back in the past, back in the 90s, etc., early 2000s, I never saw a lot of people who dress in a particular way, have certain accoutrements. Even far back in Nigerian history and culture, it was not even common to have tattoos like it is now. But essentially, I think that we have to really think about if we simply want to copy what everybody else is doing, dress the same way that everybody else does, rather than have our own culture. I've never in history, no, just for a second.
Yeah.
I've never in history heard of instances like I have now where you get a lot of people associated to music artists who end up dead. Mobad is an example of that. There was another person who was associated with Davido who also got killed. You have to be careful about the kind of culture that you allow to influence you, and having a drug culture, acting as if you're in a gang, etc. That is not the kind of thing that will help Nigerian youth in the long run. Mike, go ahead.
Thank you, my friend. See, I'm glad you brought it up. You see, often I come here to challenge Kaiser when he constantly say African culture is bad, it's primitive, it's this, it's that. And I will often make the argument, I know African culture is actually more superior to the European culture. What you're doing is you're going to the worst part of the African society, picking up, maybe you go to the Morsi people and shit like that, and say this is African culture. You just explained it. We had a culture where growing up, it's a responsibility of the to raise their boy child, prepare him from his childhood to grow up to become a responsible man, right? You start teaching him how to be a husband, how to take care of a family, and letting him know that this is what a man is all about. You take care of your house, you build legacy, you create legacy, and you raise the son to be better than you, to grow up to be. If your son doesn't grow up to be better than you, then you failed. That's what they'll teach you. That's the African culture. That's the standard, right? And the woman is being taught that, hey, if you can keep a home, that's all bringing. That's our culture. They bring you up that way. So growing up, you already know as a man, there's certain way you can behave because they'll see the community will look at you like this. Yoruba people has the word agbaya, meaning a man that doesn't act like a man, act like a boy. You understand? They call you that word. So we had superior culture and we had an organized society like that. But people like guys though, we say, oh, the people that really destroy the African society are those bourgeoisies. They go to Europe, get educated, see white man's technology,
Damn.
and begin to believe that everything about the white man is better than everything African.
Mike, Mike,
And then
Mike,
we
I want to
started.
ask you something.
We don't have the wisdom, enough wisdom to understand that yes, there are great things in a white man's society. Yeah, you look for what you need from the white man's society and bring it, and filter out the bullshit that you don't need. But what we did is we start promoting everything Western because we just believe the Western world, everything about them is just better, and everything African is
Mike,
just
Mike,
trash.
Mike, Mike. I would like to ask you, uh, people like Davido and Wizkid, do they dress, look, and speak the same way that, let's say, Nigerian artists and even the average Nigerian of their ages would 10 or 20 years ago? Do they look the same and behave the same that they would, like,
But
uh,
Davido is promoting baby mama now. He's talking about my baby mama. But where did he learn that? The thing is, growing up, I mean, growing up in environments, especially in the cities in Lagos back in those days, I mean, they're beginning to wake up now. Even it's still going on. The standard of civilization was to become Americans. Anything Americans do, you emulate. That's like the uh, in fact, those days, if you wear dashiki or you wear any African clothes, and the next person next to you wear one black American clothes or some American clothes, they will tell you that that guy that was wearing the American clothes is more civilized than you. That you are still uncivilized because you are wearing African clothes. They're not saying because the material or maybe the clothes doesn't look good or you look. I mean, your brand new African clothes were sold. You look nice in it, a nice lace. Back now it's different. I'm telling you, the 90s. If you're old enough to know, ask anybody. You now people can wear dashiki and wear African clothes. Back in the 90s, if you put on anything African, when Whiskey and Davido was growing up as a kid, they're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna say you're not civilized. You have to be current. People believe being civilized, acting civilized, is you have to act Western, American, British. That's what they were promoting. They literally be playing. But I remember I was growing up back then where they would the Nigerian music entertainment industry have something called censor. Like if you can say certain language in your music or you can promote certain things in your music. Now they would ban Fela Kuti's music on the radio, right? Because Fela would say some bad word, but they would play Tupac all day long. They would play American gangster rap all day long, as if those ones are not saying anything bad. We just think anything that comes from the Western world was just a better, and we were promoting it. So now those kids not grow up like, oh, this is the way. They want to become Black Americans. They see the Black Americans as the civilized people, the most civilized. I thought I was thinking like that in Nigeria, like, oh, these people here must be rich. Oh, they're most. When I came to America, I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this what you call civilization? It was chaotic. Like I was living in a black neighborhood. I'm like, what is this? This is not what civilization. What's the civilization? Is he just looking flashy, or is it a behavior? What's civilized behavior? I
Yeah, but
mean,
Mike,
Africa was just.
Black Americans don't sniff poo and then like eat it like the Africans.
Oh, so it's the old Africa that sniff pools, right? It's the old. So see that, and that's what I'm saying. Like we look at this is what you do. This is what they call propaganda, right? You look at it's like I want to describe you and the man standing next to you, and I want to tell people like, can you guys see who's a better human being between Kaizo and this man standing next to Kaizo? And I bring out all the negative quality about Kaizo, present it on the table, and bring all the good quality about the guy next to you, present it on the table, and I ask people to pick who's the better human being. Of course, they're gonna pick the guy next to you because I ignore the negative side of that person, only put it positive and brought the negative side of you put it on the table and ignore the positive. So this is propaganda they did for so many years. We only display everything negative about Africa. The negative side, the worst. You show the Morsi people. Out of the 2,000 tribes in Africa, name another tribe beside the Morsi that do that. They put bows in their nose and all that stuff. Name another one. So you telling me the Morsi culture is the African culture, whereas the beautiful side of the UK culture or the American culture, there may be one clean, even though even, and you say, oh, this is the American culture and that's the African culture. See, that's propaganda, and you are the one It's unfortunate that this is something at least we can excuse if it's Europeans that's doing it. But the Africans are the one helping them to push the propaganda. And it's crazy. It's crazy how the European came to colonize and then they left behind their postures. They brainwashed a group of people to help them continue to help them carry on their neocolonialism. I mean, God, Lord, Kaiser, change your mentality, man.
Mike. Let's stop the cap, right? Just because Yorubas were somewhat civilized doesn't mean the average African was civilized, and I think that's the cap that everyone can see right through. Yeah, sure, Yorubas were okay, right? You guys had some things going for you, but if you really look at the reality of African tribes, and if you look at again, Mike, just look at the Pan African movement, right? And you will not disagree with me on this one. What is the one thing that they always talk? We all got to get back together. They believe love and whatever else, like, I don't know, love and unity is a solution. I'm like, bro, we have issues. We got economic issues. We got lack of critical thinking.
But that's got nothing to do with culture, man. Go ahead.
Cultural appreciation. We got lack of cultural appreciations in school. We're just adopting the Western style without thinking through it. We're not advancing the systems that we adopted. We're just taking it as if it was always supposed to be that way. So we got real issues, and these Pan-Africans are saying things like, we're all gonna love.
Well, now what you're doing is you're diverting. You're moving this whole thing to Pan-African stuff. I agree with you, but I mean, the Pan-Africans are not talking about culture. They just not just confused bunch. They just those are unproductive people that don't understand that what would drive you forward, what will change your position is just simply productivity. Figure out how to do things. If you want to challenge the white man, you just learn to make what the white man is making. Be as productive. Do what Chinese did. The Chinese didn't go doing marching and protesting because they want to catch up to the white man. The Chinese man grabbed himself by the bootstrap and went to the freaking science lab and start doing research and start figuring out to make his own goddamn airplane, his own goddamn shoes and everything. So those Pan-Africans, I get it. Those ones are just, I mean, they're usually broke men that do that stuff, I get it. I'm not saying Pan-Africanism is bad. It depends on the definition. My definition of Pan-Africanism is not the ones these guys are doing. This that's kumbaya shit.
That's the biggest one, right? Okay. Let me just go ahead and share a couple videos because we're on some topic and we're talking about like. Sorry, that's a video for later on. Give me a second. The videos are not named in a normal way, so give me a second. I might show some weird videos for a second. Nope, not this one again. This is for a different show. Just give me a second, guys. I'll get to the right video in a second. Oh, sorry. Again, video for the next show. Okay, last video. Okay, this one should be the right video. Now look at this video, right?
And your radio.
Here's the thing, Mike. Right? You're American, right? Now, Mike, America is becoming more Mexican. It's mixing with all sorts of different cultures. What do you agree with this guy or not? Let me see.
You're a pastor, right?
Yes.
And you're a radio host?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you believe white people should have more children?
We definitely need white babies. And I tremble at the idea that the white group is going down in numbers, because if you lose white folks, America, it's over for America. Because if you notice, white people tend to be more innovative. They're more creative. They have ideas about things. All these other races don't do nothing but destroy. They don't.
Yeah, well, what do you think about that, Mike? Right? Because
come on, man. Yeah.
I don't agree with it exactly, but there's a lot of things he's saying that's true. Go ahead, Mike.
I think people like Jesse, they just like people like you. What it is they go to institutions, right? White people's institutions, and what they didn't put in back in their mind is that, hey, education is another form of indoctrination. Let me be careful. What knowledge I'm consuming, I need to. That's the guy that wrote a book. His name is one Toltec guy from Mexico. He said, hey, in this life, you have to be careful to make sure that knowledge doesn't control you, that you control knowledge. Because if you allow your knowledge to control you, you may have wrong knowledge, and the wrong knowledge will be directing you. So people like him they go to white institution, and part of your education, a lot mix of it is propaganda. So you consume the indoctrination, and it's acting on it. That knowledge is controlling him. So he somehow has been conditioned. Wait now.
Go ahead.
He talks. The guy, obviously, that's his own understanding. He's leaning on his own understanding, and that's the definition of a big fool, a fool, because his understanding of life is, I've been around these white people, and I've been around these black people, and it's better over here. So therefore, I need to associate more with this side over here. But he can't think deeper than that. So he is a very low IQ guy. He can't think deeper than that. You know. So the fact of the matter is, in the same America, I would take you to poor white communities. The poorest white are more dusty than African Americans. I'm dead serious. I'm telling you this. They're hiding them. They literally are hiding the hillbillies and the rednecks. Until I started my company, I started traveling around America, going to towns and villages. I realized that they have white community, poor white people with no education. Their IQ is way lower than like the most uneducated black man. Even lower than the Moses. I'm telling you, Kaizo, you'll be shocked. If you think I'm lying, somebody come. I will take you to these places. They literally have an entire town in America where the white people there are drug addicts. Entire town where the white people reject education, uneducated, low IQ people. But the American media would never cover story about those
Why
people.
is it that out of, let's say, out of 100 white people and 100 black people, why is it that we run to their countries and very few of them run to our countries?
Okay, all right.
Simple answer.
Yeah.
But wait, let me answer that. About 70 years ago, maybe some years ago, a bunch of Italians, Irish, they all used to flee to America, right? They all were fleeing to America because those countries were, they were still third world countries back then. They weren't advanced, So people flee to where there's resources. The same way, people will flee from different part of Nigeria. They come to Lagos. They come to, like in Nigeria, we Yorubas are so proud. We're the most progressive because our region is where all the Nigerians flee to. Most Nigerians flee to Yoruba land because it's most progressive. So people go to where there's resources. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you want to say advancements, right? There was a time where England, and give me an example before I say it, because you started a race doesn't mean you're the fastest, right? The modern industrialization started in England, I guess. Europeans started it. White people started it. America took off and everything. And the Chinese, if you go there, they look at it like, wow, we're back with these people ahead of us, right? But you can't see and argue with me that today China is no more industrialized than UK. It is. China is ahead of the UK in the race, or most European countries. If I don't want to use UK, right? So you have to start the race. Africans haven't started the race of industrialization. You understand? It doesn't mean naturally because they are ahead of the race means they are faster or they are better. That's why I don't believe that. Until maybe if we're doing the same thing, right? And you're doing better than me. That's when I can agree that wait, inherently you're better. If we're both doing the same thing and you keep on kicking my ass, then I would say, okay, you're better. But if you're doing something I'm not doing, you can't say you're better. You're the only one doing it. It's kind of like gymnastics. You see the girls, people that are winning the most good medals today are blacks. But 20 years when I was growing up as a child, only people I used to see on the gymnastic gym were whites. And I'm like, damn, white people are freaking, flexible. Shit, blacks, I can't even jump. I can't even flip like that, I used to think it's something peculiar to whites. But today, when blacks got in the game and they started, Simone Biles, there's this French girl, she's also, and this girl in Brazil, they're the one winning the gold, the medals in Olympic right now. So maybe when we begin to, that's why I keep advocating, stop this dusty, crying baby shit that you guys do and do the same thing the white man and Chinese man is doing. Go to the lab and start thinking. Because all they're doing is just thinking. But while we busy fucking and just partying and just complaining, let's do what they're doing.
Why do you think people are not doing that? Why do we always have this mindset that Africans are not
because
doing it?
We're not encouraging ourselves. That's not what you see. Listen, before you start doing something,
it depends who you hang yourself around with. If you hang yourself with dusties in the street selling crack like black people not productive or doing nothing, that's what you see. If you want to see black people building, look for them. There are a lot of them. I think it's just the people you bingo yourself with. That's what you think. So.
Which wait. Which I mean, well, I can say how many black countries have science programs?
All of them.
Really?
Yes.
Pobia has a science program in Cameroon.
They have everything. They have the same thing we study here.
Okay, give me the name. Give me the name. Give me the name so I can go look it up in Cameroon. Give me the name.
What do you mean by science program? All African countries have got university with full of scientists. What do you mean by science project? They don't have. I don't understand.
If that's the case, maybe then I mean you agree with Kaiser there.
Don't you have in Nigeria? Don't you study science in Nigeria?
We're not talking about degrees. We are not talking about degrees, man. That's the problem with you guys. You guys think degrees is what you're talking about program.
Not degrees. We have millions of Nigerians who are inventors. A lot of them that have created devices that have been used.
Is it through special? Is it through special science academy by the government?
Smart and they're doing it. You have so many.
That's not the argument. You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm not saying people are not smart. That's the problem with people like you, man. I don't want to insult you, but come on, stick to the actual point. I'm not saying blacks are not smart. Nobody said we are not smart. We can't innovate. What we're saying is we don't have special science program. The same way we don't have special sports academy. If you look at Europe, let's leave science for a second. Let's look at you look at sport, for example. If you look at the European clubs, soccer, they have something called academy. All their superstars are coming from the academy straight to the league. That's why they become the best players in the world, everything, because from childhood, in the academy, they were growing from the academy to the league. Whereas African players just come straight from the street into the league. They had a disadvantage. The only African players that are performing best in Europe, they grew up in Europe, in the European Academy.
Mike, in Cameroon, there's a football academy. All the people the Eto'o, the Song Rigobert, they went through football academy. That's when they were selected. I believe even in Nigeria, there's a football academy. There are. All those people, there might be some few that they just get from the street, but there's a football academy in most African countries, and most of their star players are from that football academy.
No, what we have, no. What we have, listen, what we have is we have local football leagues, right? And you literally have to find your way to those leagues. There's no special program where the investment, where they go out to scouts they go into the population to go and scout who are the best, most talented children and grab them and put them into academy. We don't have it in Africa. We just have local sport league that, hey, if you come here, come and play. Hey, play. If you're lucky, maybe somebody will find you in Europe or something.
Do it and it didn't work, Mike.
Say it again?
Because it's easy to complain. Have you tried to implement something like that and it did not work?
That's what I'm advocating, man. Is that what I'm advocating that we should be doing?
You're the one complaining about people just talking and rioting and not being productive.
That is the mentality. Get the out of here, man. This guy IQ is too low. Like your IQ is freaking low. I'm saying we need to start doing that instead of complaining. And you're saying I'm complaining. Guys, am I here complaining?
Have you done it? Have you done it?
This guy is dumb, man. What the hell are you?
Have you done it?
What kind of argument are you presenting here? Have I done it? I'm saying we should be doing it, and you ask me if I've done it. Is that not what I'm advocating?
Please, who is in charge? Control both of them, please.
Who is
I don't know. I'm sorry. I have less patience for ignorance, man. Like ignorant people are just.
I think when you don't have a point, you become emotional. It's easy.
No. I have little tolerance for ignorant people because I'm here saying, listen. I'm here saying what we should be doing is these things, and then you are telling me that I'm crying instead of doing these things.
Exactly. When you say we, I've been saying all this time. If people
Kaizo asked me a question and I'm answering his question. Wait, hold on. Let's get this logic here. Kaizo asked me a question. Then why don't African society? Why are we not advancing? Why are we not like these people? And I told him that this is what we don't have. This is what we're not doing. And that's what we should be doing if we want to catch up to them. And you're telling me that I'm complaining.
Yeah, but you have cited almost 2 examples and you're completely wrong. in your examples. That's why I said
Which examples of what? Examples to what?
You're talking about Africans don't have science project. Africans don't have football academies. That's completely wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You just get emotional.
No. You no listen. Maybe you're not listening. I said we don't have special science programs like these countries do.
I have a question, right?
And I also give you example like wait, hold on. And the academy, I said we don't have the special sports academy like they do in Europe. And it's a fact. That's why they're producing the stars and we are producing them. What is so difficult?
There's not a star. It's not the fact that we produce in Africa, we don't produce in Europe. The only advantage they have more money to do more advertising of their own players. I don't think there's any better star. Like I'm talking about football in Europe, we don't have in Africa. We do.
This guy. Okay. Let's look at the numbers then. Okay.
Because why is it that France wins the World Cup and it's mostly African players, but no African team even passes through the quarterfinals?
Thank you. I don't know what his argument is there. All those players, Pogba, all of that, the entire French team, they all grew up in France through the French academy. Notice how many of them. So if we have the same goddamn program in Africa, why is no African team? Why don't we have that?
Many of those African players you see in France, most of them were not even born in France. They were being taken.
But which academy groomed them? Was it the Africans? Was he in Guinea academy in Africa that groomed them and make them who they are?
You don't know what you're talking about. That's what I'm just.
They grew up in France.
You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to football in Africa.
Okay, explain. Okay, please convince me. Mbappe went through Cameroonian academy, right?
Mbappe is an exception. That's just one. Do you know how many?
No. Name the players that grew up through. Name the.
Mike. Hello, Mike.
Kifaru, name any of those players that went through academy in the African countries that became the French national team.
Yes, most of them.
Just give him time to land. Give him time to land this point here. Mike, give him chance. Let him just land.
Let him land. Go ahead and land, Kifaru. Land.
I just said the football academies in Africa, they exist. So if your point is say they don't exist, then you're wrong. And again, there's no science special program. There is. The special science program in most African countries at the university that only special people can even go to those science programs. They exist. They do. If they're not managed well, that is another argument. But even during the time of the coronavirus time, there was one Nigerian scientist, a little boy, in the university. He created what's it called, defibrillator, something like that, to pump people's to pump air into your lungs. We have many things. If that innovation was done in Europe, it could have been a very massive thing. Again, there was this, I think, the respiratory equipment that managed to create it in the Senegal. I don't know, the science program. They call it the Institute. I forgot the name. They're just African people. They created a defibrillator that is cheaper than what Europe people could even make. They exist. People, they do things like that happen in Africa. But if we don't believe in Africa, all we do is insult Africans, and we live living in the West, then we're not going to see the greatness of Africa anyway.
But Kifaru, the question is, why don't African governments not invest in science? Because you can make billions from that. I was going to say before, like if you look at Africa turning to Russia just to import wheat, why can't African governments work together and develop what's it called, a type of wheat that's African resistant and cheap to produce that can feed millions of people? Again, second of all, malaria. Why? This is actually very important. Actually, do you know about that small country in West Africa, Gambia, that imported cough syrup from India, even though Indian medicine is inferior and crap and cheap? They imported cough syrup from that country, and it's killed so many babies. God rest their souls.
Yeah,
and the question is here: why isn't Gambia? Because it costs like what, $2 or $3 million to invest in a small pharmaceutical factory.
Okay.
Gambia could be producing their own drugs, and they could get technical expertise maybe from Ghana or Nigeria to help them how to produce this cough syrup. So why are they importing this inferior medicine from places like India?
Which Ghana and Nigeria are you talking about?
Gambia. He said Gambia.
I said
we
that
are
Gambia. I said Gambia.
my brother, Nigerians and Ghanaians are using Indian medicine. So which one is Nigeria disruptive?
No, but I'm saying is these countries have got expertise that can teach them, or from South Africa to show them how to make this cough syrup.
Well, I think this is the thing. Let me just say something. We all agree that we have a leadership problem in Africa. We know.
Oh, so you agree with me now?
Mike, let me finish. So let me come to my point, because you are giving the responsibility to somebody else. You're taking yourself out of that responsibility. But I'll come to that point. The thing is,
wait. I'm not taking myself out of responsibility.
Because you said they should do that. I'm asking who?
Who's they? I said we. I said we.
Okay.
Those that have to do it is the leaders, not we. It's the leaders.
Both the leaders and the people have to. It's a collaboration. So it has to be.
No, it is when the leader have a better program, everybody will not be involved. It is the leader.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's got to be collective effort, work, and we don't have that. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. And these guys get emotional, talking as if I'm talking blah blah blah, and telling me I'm excusing myself.
See, you are the one being Mike. And begin to insult. If I start insulting the show,
I'm not insulting you, man. I mean, come on. Yeah, we can go now. We can go back and forth then. What the heck?
I think I just have to behave myself more superior.
No, you need to show some respect and not be putting word in my mouth. Man, I'm saying day and stuff when I didn't say that.
Yeah, let me also come in here. I want to tip in my own. You know, almost both of you almost said this. I will say the reason is this, my brother. The great problem we have in Africa is that most of our transaction is in informal system, so we cannot develop it to that industrial scale, and that is why we are not moving. For example, if you come to Europe, ordinary retail that we see in the streets of African market is already in industrial scale. They call it retail industry. There is a proper management that are involved, but for it's like we allow things just to go informal. The government don't care. The government cannot give you data of the volume of transaction in their country. So we have a long way to go. So, okay, like that football or sport is already industry here in Europe or Western world. In our place, it is local. For we, everything is local. I think we have to change that mindset. That it's not because they are shooting rocket or maybe because they build plane that make them to be different from us. We lack that managerial skill. Until we get it right, we can move forward. All these medicine, everything you talk, go back and go and do your investigation and see the way your government regulates, and you will discover that this is why we cannot move forward. Because when you put it on industrial scale, there's chances of that, what we call teamwork, will not come in instead of individual. You will now understand that one man cannot do it. We must work together, and there must be a platform for government to regulate it.
Sorry for cutting short. Do they create medication in Nigeria? Do you?
My brother, I don't know. Maybe they do some. Maybe they don't even do it.
Exactly. I'm speaking with a Nigerian chemist. He came to do PhD. I was so surprised. The scale of medicine that they do in Nigeria was just mind-blowing, like recognized medication tablet. I think sometimes we oversimplify our effort as African countries to repeat. That's my problem. We don't have the right data to talk about certain things, but we just come with our own what we think and start making statements on YouTube.
Yeah, because we do things in informal system. So how can we have data?
My problem is we are not in those industries to even debate on. That guy he is a pharmacist in Nigeria. Brilliant guy. He showed me things that were done in Nigeria.
Okay, said, the reason for pharmacists.
Why don't we know that these things like
meanwhile, let's not argue blindly. Okay, let's not argue blindly. Okay. Let's have a base for what we are discussing here. The point we're making here is that we're not saying we are not able to do something, we don't have what it takes to do something, or individuals are not doing something. We are saying, as a society, we are not organized enough where we have a program like they do in their own, in the other society, in the Western world and in Asia, where they're organized. A special program where it's organized, where scientists or whoever has a gift or anything can go and use as a platform to progress, to advance. That's the argument here. Nobody's saying an African cannot do something or an individual African is not doing something. That's not the point. That's not the argument. So I don't know why Kifari here is just coming here saying we're talking down on Africa. I don't get it, man. Learn to listen and just stop, just
because if we have that proper formality, if we have this proper formality, all these things we consider local, we move to that industrial scale. And the government will be able to have enough data. Even the data we are talking about, They don't even have it 100%. At least if they're having 70 or 80 and they are formulating policies, they will all surely get it right. But our own, we have zero data. But people, when you tell them, they will go to one office and they will start copying figure. And when you look at the whole structure on ground, you know that there's no way they can have this data. There's no way. There's no simple way. The formality is not there for them to have.
I just want to ask you a
question. They just lie. And that's why everybody jump in. We blame the president. We blame the president. How can the president formulate policy?
Midwest, you know, I like to talk and be really specific. So, what data have you asked from the Nigerian government, and they didn't give you?
The thing is that they used to give data, but if you are into a system, and like you that have lived in advanced country, sometimes you question, how did these people arrive in these data? And when you look at the formality on ground, there is nothing in place for them to arrive in actual or maybe 50% accuracy or 100. They just guess because somebody has put pressure on them. We need to have a data to show. So they put any figure.
Sure? Are you sure? That's my problem with this kind of statement we make. I'll just ask you one simple question. What data have you asked for Nigerian government to provide to you and they don't?
The data, they will surely give you a figure. But if you know what is called data processing, and at the same time, garbage in, garbage out, when you give wrong figure to computer, it will give you wrong answer. Then you will understand
that Nigeria don't have the competency to do that.
You will understand that
which data have you asked them that they presented to you?
You will know that we have a very strong fundamental issue to address. What kind of data are you going to talk about that are really accurate? How will you get it?
That's the thing. That's why I say
you have. Wait, my brother, you have close to 200 something million people, and today they wake up. They consume, and the business who sold those consume or items cannot report to you as a government. Where are you going to get business data? You go to supermarket, do you know that cash machine report everything to tax office and finance office and so many government agents? That every day, 90% of the water you drink in France, the government will know. At the end of the month, when you pay your bill, they will go there and see the liters you use in your house. I'm just talking about one commodity now. How can your country be able to figure out how many waters you consume in your country?
I don't know. So, I think this is
you tell me, no, you want to tell me about that.
I don't want to. What I don't want to do, I don't want to talk about things that I don't know. Things that I just think.
I want to ask you. You have to
give myself an example.
Which data have you ever asked that you think that is accurate?
I'll explain to you. Okay. I'll take example, my own personal case. I was here in the West and I met some people. These people were interested in ecotourism. You understand? Ecotourism in my country. So I had no idea the touristic sites in my country where people go. I thought things like that did not exist. I thought people were just moving up and down doing nothing. And they gave me a contact with one lady that works in the Ministry of Tourism. She gave me the numbers and how many people on estimate visit Cameroon each year and where they go every time they come. The data was so clear for me to use it. If I wanted to use the data to build upon a business upon, I will use it. That's what I asked, and they gave me the information I needed. But there are some people still, Cameroonians, that believe they don't have data for that because they don't ask. But what they do, they just come and criticize. And I've noticed that.
I want to ask you a question now. You see, they may be right to some extent. It is possible because they came with ticket to your country and the migration record people who come into the country, the people they stamp in and the people they stamp out. But at the same time, if you go about and check those borders, you will see how porous they are. The citizens that go out, the citizens that comes in, they cannot give accurate information. Likewise, alien also coming to your country. I know we have it here. Even European, they struggle sometimes to get the number of immigrants that is in Europe. That's why they have all these things. But they will tell you they are not able to get it accurate. And the one they have, they will announce. Our own case is not like that. Like that tourism, they will be able. Foreigner came in through flight. But I'm talking about.
I'll just give you an example. That's what I do.
Let me also ask you now. Those tourism, okay, look at, they gave you the number. But I will assure you, those tourists, when they come in volume, the percentage at which they change business.
Why do you always think on the negative side? Why don't you think that is okay?
No, when I don't believe the negative side.
Brother, if it was a white man that gave you this data that I gave, I hope you will not argue him. You will say, "Oh, that's correct," right?
No, they can't even give that data. I've never seen them doing that. Because now, you know, European
Wait. Can we agree on one thing? Can we agree that
the European will not give you that kind of data? They will estimate it.
Midwest. Can we agree that the African countries are not advancing, and they are nowhere near as advanced as the
I agree with you.
European countries and Asian
We are not even
countries?
started. We are even going backwards.
So I don't know what Kifaru's argument is. That's what we are presenting here. It's not like we are here to
stop and say
be
we want to
negative
go
or
forward.
anything. The question Kaiser asked is what we're answering. So I don't know why you're saying we're being negative. We're not. If we're just complaining, then we're being negative.
Yeah, all we can agree that we are growing. Okay, there's no argument that we are not at the same position like European. No one can even make that argument. But at least we are struggling, and we should give ourselves a tap at the back. That at least it's not the best, but we have something which will make it better.
But no. We haven't started. That's the thing. Well, I can say maybe this year, or in the case of Nigeria, I see they're beginning to like address it. Yeah, okay, we'll give them a tap on the back for addressing it, and they're beginning to start something good. But over the years, I mean, in fact, I can argue to say we haven't started. We haven't got it right. We haven't started putting the things in order, things in place to get started. And we have to address it. And that's what we are addressing here. It's not about being negative. I'm not here to just sit back and be saying we are foolish, we are this. In fact, I was even, it's the opposite I'm saying. I was going even arguing against Kaiser because he believed we're just foolish, that we can't do it. And we can never do it. And we are just inherently low IQ. We can't be like the Europeans. It's Kaiser that's actually presenting the argument. And I'm the one actually saying, no, we can do it, but we haven't started and we need to start. So I don't know where you disagree with me here. That you're saying I'm being negative, you know.
Okay, we need to start, but the problem is leadership. It's only leadership that's going to change things like that. If we don't, we know in Africa now, you can be stupid and you bribe to become a minister. What has a stupid person got to do with my managerial position? He just bribe himself and get there. So,
but you can also agree with me that it's both the leadership and the people, you know.
Yeah, but I think we allow them to be the way they are. If you ask me, my own honest opinion, we stay out of it. It's like I'll take care of myself. Let them do what they want.
I'm saying, for example, like let's say, let's use simple example of how European are able to organize their sport academy, and they're on top of the world winning all the gold medals. You can sit down with me and tell me that all those superstar footballers, the academies that they came out of, it wasn't academies created by government or politicians. It was just private individuals that started those programs. Like if you look at most of the industries, it's just corporations, private individuals came together and came up with the idea, and then they partner with governments. So that's why I say it's both. We as the people too have to get organized. Those gifted people come together, rub minds, figure something out, and then approach the government, partner with the government. Because if you haven't done that, then what can the government work with? So sometimes I tend to put more of the blame on the populists and the gifted. I won't say the populists because not everyone is gifted. Not all human beings are gifted. Most humans, even white society, most of their population are not gifted. Majority of people you find in those rich countries, America, Europe, majority of their population are just dummies. They're not gifted. But it's the gifted ones among them, they understand their gift and trying to use their gift to elevate their societies. And they come together to figure out to solve societal problems. And once they figure it out, and then they partner with governments. So in the case of Africa, those that are gifted, they have the ability, they are God-given talent to do something. They're not doing it. So who can government now partner with? If I become president of Nigeria, Africa country, and I want my country to advance in this, and I look into the population, I can't find anyone that's willing to, that's presenting themselves to, to have the ability. I'll have to go somewhere. I have to go to Europe. Go call the Chinese man. They're gonna do it for me because my people are not presenting themselves as people that can do any. They want to do anything, So sometimes it's both. It's both the people and the governments. Yeah.
Some people are just making some stupid statement here comparing India to Africa. Well, India is 1 billion. All of Africa, if we have to put all those people in one box, we have more engineers and more scientists more than those Indians. So you guys don't like the argument. I don't get it. India is still one of the most poorest countries. People still live like deplorable in India than most African countries, But just because they show us their shine, That's what we receive. But we want to show the world our dirt. You understand? And that's what's happening. We should learn to show our shine. You know, we see something that's good in Africa. Let's make a propaganda about it. Let's show it. Kenyans have, I don't know, it might be small. I think Kenyans and Rwandans, they send some satellite, this cubic satellite, where it might be small, but it's something. We could say, oh, look, Kenyans, they've deployed the satellite to manage to study agricultural terrain, things like that. We do those things, but we don't talk about it. We're just waiting for the dust to blast ourselves and say we are dusties and things like that. And we have people say they want more white babies than black babies. See, like, it's just some crazy stuff.
Ask Kaiser, you have to address on that one.
Yeah, Kaiser is that Jeffrey. How did they call that guy? Jeffrey Peterson, what was he called?
Nah, see, that Peterson guy, the guy is just...
That's Kaiser in the future. That's Kaiser in the future, 100%.
No, that guy, it's you see, the way America work is this. People, like, it's like a brand. Like, everybody create a brand. And what they do in that brand is they hold this specific position. It's not really their natural, it's not really their real, like, in real life. I don't think Peterson, that's what he believes, all those things. But his
He looks
position
like that.
is controversy. You have to set controversy. You understand? So you stand on this one position, extreme position here, and you stick there. So that way you can gain a track, people can watch you and like, oh, this guy, that's what he talks about, that's what he is. It's like this, you get view and then you make money. So it's a brand, you know, it's like that's what they do here, you know. But many people just see it as that's but in some cases though, people do think like that, you know, they consume this brainwashing things and then they go out there.
Exactly. Sorry, Dr. R, are you there? What kind of doctor are you? You medical doctor or philosophy? Is it there?
No, I'm not a doctor.
Are you not?
No.
All right. I thought you were some kind of a doctor because you've got doctor, also internet YouTube doctor. It's okay.
That's just my title.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we should get involved. You know, I know people that they have zero interest in the country, zero managerial skill, zero nothing, but they have money to bribe their way, and now they're sitting in position to make decisions for the masses. What do you expect them to do? Because it's easier for a Chinese man to come and say, take this money and say, this is my land. They will sell it because he does not understand anything. Until we get there and trying to get involved, things like this will not stop. I know we should look our past, where we're coming from. We've not had a good past in Africa. We're just trying to rebuild and trying to correct the mistake of those people who call our ancestors, those sellouts. They put us in a really bad situation, and it's a tough work than we think it is. You understand? We have empires already built in our own countries, and it's not going to be easy for them to let go because they're feeding their nations with those roots they've created. And it's there, and we need to find another way to how to sort ourselves out. It's not easy for Africa. I know sometimes it's easier for us to come and throw shades, but when I see where we come from, the struggle that this continent has been through, I say we are trying. You know, that's what I believe.
It's a long way journey.
They say you have a PhD in red pillow, what was that? Red pillology. It's a long way, but it's only going to be shorter if we get involved. You understand? I'm tired of talking about our leaders. I think I should be the one.
Let's have an honest conversation in here. Like, who wants to go back to Africa, and who wants to stay in Europe in their comfortable houses in Europe? Let's be honest. How many of us want to go back?
Many people in West Africa are going back every day.
No, I'm talking about in Africa in general. I'm talking about those in the diaspora that have lived in Europe or America or whatever country they're living in for 25 or 30 plus years, and their children that were born in the West. What percentage of them want to go back? The only people I can think of is the older generation that want to go back and buy houses.
But I mean, we have nothing to offer. What's the point? What's the point of going?
Go back. Not everyone needs to go back. The ones that go back are the ones that think they need to make a change. You understand?
if you have nothing to offer society, why go there? You know, if you have nothing to offer,
Exactly.
No, but
so go there and become. So you
but
want them to
Mike,
go there and become liabilities.
but Mike, the point I'm trying to make to you is diaspora want to only go to Africa for their own self interests to make money. They're no different to Europeans in that, if you understand what I'm saying. And for the diaspora who made it in the West, there's no incentives for them to go back.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on the incentive part, but I mean, for you to say people going to make money, people have to make money in life. It's not what we all wake up every day to do, to make money. Now, if you're saying that there's some people that have what it takes to make forge a change, they have something to offer and they're not offering it, then I agree with you on that argument. You know, there's some people
Yes.
that, you know,
Mike, let me ask you a question. If you was a wealthy person and you had millions of dollars or pounds in the bank, you want to go to Nigeria and you see there's a demand for cancer hospital. Are you doing it for your self interests you want of the country, or you're going there to make money from that hospital?
But everyone is going to make money, but at the end of the day, you're building your community. No one is doing anything for free. What do you expect them to give it for free?
That's
because
exactly the point. Like, let me ask you, why is it
But
so
that is still going back, Dr. Arrow. If you're going back to build a hospital in your community, you're still helping.
Well,
but
I'm going there
see,
to build it for my own interests. I'm not building it for the people. I'm there to
Yeah,
build
but
it
you're
for
going there for your self-interest. That's fine. But the government, you need to pay taxes to the government.
exactly, you have to run the hospital. Listen, first of all, the maintenance of the hospital have to make money too for it to stay alive, to sustain. What some
Exactly.
people don't understand, they think you just build a hospital and that's it. The hospital itself, the cost of maintenance, the cost of
Exactly.
running, the people that's going to run it have to be paid. The
You
doctors have
need
to be
to.
paid, nurses have to be paid. So it's still got to be ran, and you have to be you have to make profits. So there's no, you know, it's still a business, you know. So you're not going there just dump a hospital and you have solved a problem. No, that's not the way it
Even Bill
works.
Gates, the richest man in the world, he still wants profit, man. He's still making money and making profit. So talk less of a dusty African. Bill Gates is still looking for profit. He's the richest person in the world. He's not giving anything for free.
Yeah, there's no free hospital in the world.
There's none. There's none.
No,
There's no
if
free
it,
service.
if it's free somewhere, somebody is paying. Maybe United Nations, European Union, Arab League, one union or the other. So, but the maintenance and the finance it must be shouldered by one or some people or one organization or the other. Like here
Like,
in
for
Europe,
example, me, Dr. Arrow, I have a food processing company in my country. Of course, I want to make money by employing people. I'm paying government taxes, but
yeah,
employing, it's almost like 70 people now, and it's increasing. But if I don't make money, I can't run that thing, and it will be shut down. And those people will be the ones that will suffer more. Maybe I'll lose a couple of money, but at the end of the day, it failed. But I need to be able to make profit to keep that business running.
yeah, that is what we're talking about. Everything boiled down to the government. The what we call an enabling environment for business to grow. And every government in the West strive to create this. They do their best. And that's what they have been doing. So every government that want investors to come to their country must do their homework and create an enabling environment for those business to grow. Because when people come in and they put up their investment and they are not making profit, it means that business will grow. Capitalism is designed on growth, no other way. It's not designed to stop. If you stop, there's nothing like stopping capitalism. If you stop, it will start going back. That's all.
Hey, Midwest,
So
see that
yeah,
statement you make, you're right. Government have to create an enabling environment. But one problem I do have
yeah,
with a lot of people is that they themselves figure what it is that will require to make their business grow, right, in society.
yeah.
But then they don't partner with government to work because that's the government. I'm a businessman. I don't know what your business needs to grow, right? What policy or what it is. So you yourself have to really want to partner with the government and say, hey, we in this industry, we can grow, make this industry grow. If you have this policy, this done, this side, government to do this and that, this is the play you have to play. Because that's the way it works in the West. The captains of industries, you hear the word lobby. they approach government. In fact, they even pay the government like, hey, okay, we want to do this. We want you to put this policy in place so we can have our industry grow, this area grow and grow and grow. And then we present it to the government. Government will see, and government, oh, okay, this is what we need to, this is our part. Okay, we'll play it. Take it. And government know that if you grow, they also going to benefit, because the more you grow, the more in tax revenue they will earn themselves. So it's a win-win for both the government and the captains of industries. So the question is, if the environment is not enabled for the industry to grow, don't you think you blame those in that industry for not playing their role, sitting down, not approaching the government, engaging the government to work with the government?
Yeah, no, you can't blame them always. You have to look at the setting of the government itself. When we talk about government in the Western world, we are not talking about the prime minister or the mayor. Most of us don't even know the name of the governor of our cities in Europe here. And if they ask us, we are going to fail that woefully. Most of us, we don't know, because we don't hear their names. It is the institutions that are the real government. When you talk of Ministry of Finance, there is a platform they design for them to function and taxation. These are the key, most important.
Well, they are part of the government, all right?
Wait. Now. They are the most important, those two, in terms of capitalism, and that Ministry of maybe Labor. And when you talk about Ministry of Labor, partially is involved with professionalism as well. Because the kind of people you train for them, in case if industry is coming in, if you want to hire people, to set up an industry, there are a lot of challenges that goes with industry. So that is why these ministries have to be prepared to welcome this industry. These are the environment we're talking about. For example, if you are running a business and the only thing the government know how to do is to come there to collect the tax, and the way they collect the tax from you, they don't even know how you make a profit, whether you are growing or whether you are struggling. And when you come to Western world here, do you know there are big companies that employ numerous people at a point they don't even pay tax to government? Or even the one they paid last year, the government is going to return more than 70 or 80% to that company? Because these are the things in our own
But if the law tells you to pay tax, you must pay. You can't say you won't pay. You pay.
This is the thing,
Get what I'm saying. Get what I said. The law said you must pay tax. You're going to pay tax. Every industry himself pay tax on profit. When you are lost, the government will return your money to you. I'm not talking about tax you pay on employment. I'm not talking about VAT tax. That one belong to government. But that your profit tax is based on what you earn. Because every month there is an amount of money you deposit to the government. When you do your balance sheet, that is when it will not come in that you have to pay more or the government have to return to you. That is the formality, the way it works here in Europe, in summary. So, but in our own case, the format for you to operate your business, what you need to report to the government almost on daily basis are not there. And we don't attach importance to those things. So the government don't know the performance of the business in details. But if it, as far as that business is still there, people go there and work, you must pay tax. That's the difference I'm trying to point before you. And that is the reality.
I think there's a system, it is corrupt. Okay, I don't know about Nigeria, and I believe they do have a clear cut of how you have to report your company's findings to the government. But the system is always interrupted by some corrupt.
We have. I agree. Yeah. We have that system. That system, we need to work upon it if we want to have investors. Most of those systems are 19th century British colonial system, and they doesn't work with this modern reality. So these are the things.
Maybe that's because we haven't come up with the technology as a people. I mean, we are relying on importing technology. I mean, they're in the trouble.
We still study those things, and we believe that is the real knowledge. And when you come here, you see they do different thing entirely, and very simple. The way they handle it here, you go there, you see bureaucracy that doesn't have you don't even know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's going, but you must do it. So like here, it's not like that. If you find yourself in any bureaucracy here and you want to deal with those people and all those things, you will know where you are going. You will see the standard is set, and that standard, even though if the son of the president want to do that same thing, or the king's son, it is that standard that he have to follow. And once you merit it, they give you your permit to start what you want to do. So it's not. I have someone now who set up some business in Nigeria. He's still looking for some permit for the past since last year.
Yes.
To run that business. Nobody is attending to him. He has spent money. They have hate his money because of the system. So how can business grow in that kind of environment? They want to go into food and some production. They need this NAFDAC something.
Food production should be something like free. Like in my country, food production is 1 year free tax. 1 year.
Listen, okay, look at what I'm saying. He need NAFDAC. He need NAFDAC something approvals on number. This guy is still strongly with those things. If it is here, if you want to get NAFDAC number, they will just put it like this. Go to this school. When you pass, you put this money in your account. You go and take police report. You don't have crime. You do this. You submit to this office. This office will reply you less than 3 months, less than 1 month. And that will be law. And that will be the format. In our place, it's not like that. You don't even have the format.
These people have come a long way. Okay. We need to understand these people have come a long way. It didn't happen just overnight. They have built this system and perfected for a very long time, almost like 200 years. Okay.
It wasn't perfect a few years ago. Even a few years ago, they were struggling. We don't want to change. That's our problem.
We don't have the right leadership.
We don't want to change. Maybe 20, 30 years, what these people have achieved, we
can't change. We need to force Africans to change. If you think people
cannot force anybody to change, the government must say, I'm changing today. When the government change, the people will change. You cannot continue to be drilling people. You don't give to them. Every day they go and struggle for themselves. You don't even know how they struggle. And at the end, you said
you know that the government comes from the people, right?
It comes from, wait, when you see the problem, when you have a government in charge of a country, and they are making policies, and that policy is not different from colonial ideology, whereby the colonial master make law.
But they didn't adopt the colonial ideology when they got into government. They had it as the people before they came into government.
No, not that
they went into the government. Wait. No. They had a colonial mentality as a people, as a citizen, and went into government with that mentality. So when you don't expect them to go into government and change.
See where the problem, when you get to that government, you become with that mentality. The reason is this. Once you become in power, or God bless you to become a man of power in that continent, there are no laws to really check on you in practice.
But power is not going to change your IQ, man. The IQ you took the power is the IQ you're going to have in power. So I don't know why
they will not put you. See, look at what I'm trying to point before you.
Exactly.
Look at what I'm saying. They will not put you on check properly. There are no proper system or grant to check on you. So it's like absolute power, and which always corrupt. According to absolute power, corrupt people. So that is the problem we have in Africa. When the white men were with us, all the law they make, they were exempted from it, and they were in power. So our people, when they are making law to address issue, those who are making the law see themselves out of the boss of the law. So they are making it for common people. That's why the governor can wake up and be bulldozering people's house, breaking everywhere, and tell you these people build them. Before they construct this, where's the government? And you are calling upon investors. How is it going to work?
I'll just give you my own personal experience when it comes to people building. Look, we Africans, we just go and buy a plot and start building house without even looking the plan of that house, of that area. In my town, there's a plan that they say this plan is the plan of the city. It might be that the main road is not there yet. The government has not yet allocated money to create that main road. But in that plan, it stated that that is a main road. If you are ignorant and you don't know, you go and buy a piece of land that is within the road, the government has all the right to break your house down. That's my point. So we try to do things without following procedures. And that's then when it comes to our side, we start saying, oh, the government is breaking our house. If you go look really where most of these people build houses, maybe the government say you cannot build houses in this place. But just because they think, we can just brush things away, they go build houses. At the end of the day, when the government wants to put order, it becomes something else. I'm not saying all cases are like that, but in most cases that I've seen, like in Cameroon, people just created a market, dirty market out of nowhere, and they're building and putting things around. And it's been going on for almost 5 years. And when they brought a new governor that said, no, we have to change this down, they start breaking things out, and people are rioting. You're breaking up poor people's buildings and things like that. But they said, in the first place, you were not supposed to build a house here. This place is not a market. There's nowhere in the plan of this town that there's a market in this spot. You understand? So sometimes we don't have enough information. Let's get information, then we use the information to fight them. If we don't get information, we might not be hitting the point, and they might just look at us and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the brother left.